Collectible figurines, video games, and Disney. If you're a kid, or just one at heart, it sounds like a winning combination. But if you're a parent, it may sound a bit like nagging, bankruptcy, and endless trips to Toys R Us to your sprogged up ears. This is Disney Infinity, a crossover between toys and games that takes the best stuff from the House of Mouse and lets you smush it all together until it looks like Disneyland designed by Picasso. We caught up with John Day, one of the producers at Avalanche Studios, the game's makers, to find out more.
We split the game into two big components. They're what we call playsets and the toy box. Now the playsets are an individual game set in a single universe. So you have a Cars playset and a Pirates playset and a Lone Ranger playset. And when you play in the Cars playset, you are one of the Cars characters, you are in Radiator Springs, and you do things that make sense for a car, like racing and doing stunts and tipping over the tractors or whatever. But if you play in the Incredibles playset, for example, gameplay changes totally. You have superpowers, you save people from burning buildings, and you fight high-tech robots, and you save the world.
Or you can play in the Lone Ranger set and make Tonto jump on it, you get the idea. The starter set for the game comes with the Incredibles, Pirates of the Caribbean and Monsters University playsets packed in. To get more, you need to get yourself some new playsets and new figurines.
We have a number of figures that let you select who you are in the game. So by simply placing Mr. Incredible on the Infinity base, you will change to Mr. Incredible, or Davy Jones, or Syndrome, or whatever you want to be. So we wanted to have a toy that we wanted to proudly display on the shelf. In fact, all of the toys for Infinity were sculpted and modeled by the same people that did the models in the game. So they look very much like they do in the game, and they're just a collectible quality toy. Figures do have the ability to store information, and they do store what level they are. The figures do level up and earn experience, and they also store economy. Every playset has cash that you earn that you can use to unlock more toys, and that's also stored on the figures. And these figures work on any platform. So it doesn't matter which version I have or that my mates have, I can take the figures to their house, they will work there, and they will still store that information.
Aside from the playsets, the other half of Disney Infinity is the Toy Box, an open playground that lets you build whatever you want with hundreds of Disney items. You can build spiraling racetracks to compete on against friends, or even create your own games. Or just pimp a Cinderella carriage with monster truck wheels like a little wooden Tim Westwood. In fact, you can create some incredibly complex things with the Toy Box.
We do also have toys we call Creativitoys, and these toys have behaviors you can link together to create very complex gameplay. To give you an example, some of our testers have fully recreated retro arcade games. One tester put together Donkey Kong using a side view camera and some ramps and some balls, and really made it a pretty nice recreation of that.
From what we've seen, it's clear that Avalanche have spent a lot of time making this a completely authentic Disney experience, and have worked really closely with all the creators on a wide range of Disney-owned licenses.
We have an excellent working relationship with Pixar, as the last two games we developed were Cars 2 and Toy Story 3. In Monsters University, the buildings you see were modeled after artwork we got directly from them, from the stuff that was used in the film. And very frequently we would have someone from their studio come out to see us, or we would go see them, or we'd get on the phone and talk about the way things were going. That's absolutely true for Jerry Bruckheimer as well. For Pirates and the Lone Ranger. Obviously we do own Star Wars and Marvel. We don't have any specific plans associated with those yet, but Infinity is going to be a product we're going to continue to develop. So we're trying to hit as much of the catalog as we can while focusing on what the fans really want to see and what makes for a great game.
There may be no Star Wars yet, but there is a recognizer from Tron complete with Daft Punk theme song. There's ESPN branded sports equipment and famous landmarks from the Disney theme parks. But in a playthrough with John, we did discover one glaring omission.
Is Walt Disney himself in there?
No, Walt Disney himself is not in here anywhere.
Oh, you missed it.
We're not done developing it, all right? We will. I'm gonna take that back to the office and
Take
see
that
we
back,
can.
back with me.
Yeah, I'll be like, okay, we need to address this.
John did make up for the omission by saying that in total there will be roughly 1,000 items to play with in the toy box. But still, 1,000 items and no Walt Disney. For shame. Walt excused, Disney Infinity is still shaping up to be one of the most comprehensive Disney experiences out there, and is almost guaranteed to be a hit with the kids, if not with their parents' bank accounts. We'll just have to wait until the game launches in August to find out whether Walt does finally make his way in there.